Welcome to the Nightly Rant with your hosts, Mike
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic.
Hockey game tonight is crazy.
Is it?
People are gonna moan and groan about what happened, but the call was correct.
I don't even know what happened. All I knew is that guy looked like it hurt when he went down.
In the NHL, penalties are always delayed, and that means if your team has possession of the puck and your team gets a penalty against it, you continue your play until the other team touches the puck. It's designed to not take an advantage away from somebody.
So you have the puck and you knock someone else out. You get to keep the puck and keep playing.
Until the other team just even has to just touch it with their stick. They touch the puck. They'll blow the whistle and it's done. So it's really, really fair.
Interesting.
Yeah. But people are going to scream and yell that they should have stopped play and that goal shouldn't have counted. And here's what I predict is going to happen. We turned it off and there's like 7 minutes left in the game. Boston is going to score a goal and going to lose 2-1. And that's going to make it even worse because that goal was the difference maker.
The whiny babies will be real.
Yeah, it's going to be really intriguing to see.
Or they'll score 2 and it will be...
And they'll lose in overtime. Yeah. One of those two scenarios is going to happen. You watch.
Yep.
So then we got Mr. Beans. He's going on his sleepover date this coming weekend.
Yeah, he is. Goodbye, Mr. Beans.
What a cute boy.
It's been fun.
I'm going to miss him.
I know you are.
A lot. I love that boy.
You know what I won't miss? The crap crunching.
Talking about crappy people.
Crappy people.
So, I always thought that social media was about connecting with other people.
And learning about them.
Well, but isn't that what connecting with people is? Learning about them? Yeah. It's why like Facebook keeps trying to tweak their algorithms that you see more and more of just your closer friends.
Right.
And people who you interact with. And what it's doing, it's simple. It's watching the people who you like their posts. Because then it lets Facebook know
that you like those people.
Who your circle of friends are.
Right.
Have you ever thought about this? Likely that's how these crimes get solved these days so much faster. Because I'm always thinking to myself, my God, there's more people living in this area, and yet they seem to solve these really crazy crimes a lot faster. But they're using the same kind of data that Facebook has. And they're figuring out who is in whose circle. And then, it's only a matter of time then before you get someone to talk. But anyway.
That's interesting, considering that show we watched about when they were on the run. That's exactly what the FBI people did.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that you go there to connect with people and you're there to learn about people. So you nicely did this thing where you connected with a lady and then you asked her about her business. Now,
I did.
Her response was rather weird and I still can't quite figure it out. Why do you want to know? That's like a really weird thing. Already you're showing you have a chip on your shoulder.
Right? You're expecting me to know about you before I actually know anything about you.
Well, but here's the thing that I think freaks people out. What they're really expecting is for you to allow them to post their stuff and for you to get to know them. But they really have no interest in getting to know you.
I know.
And so by you trying to make it a mutual connection, you freaked her out.
I know. It's very freaky. Weird.
Because then what happened after that? What happened after she came back and asked you why you wanted to know?
Hold on, I have to find her again. She blocked me, so now it just says LinkedIn member. She said, okay, so I asked my question. She said, may I ask why is that? And I said, because it's always great to get to know other business owners, ? Smiley face, because I felt like the question mark was a little sassy.
Mm-hmm.
The smiley face dulls the sass. And she comes back, Torya, just a suggestion. If you are offering your services, maybe it's better to start with knowing your potential client's interests instead of just asking what they do. Just a suggestion.
Okay, so right there, let's stop for a second. How is she making a connection between asking what she does with trying to pitch your services?
Right. I mean, did anybody else hear me pitching my services? I don't do that. I'm a terrible salesperson. I am not great at, me to you marketing. It's not a thing. I don't like it. It's not a thing I do currently. So that's offensive to me because there was 0% sales of any sort in my message.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to get at here is I don't see how on God's green earth that connection was made.
Right. So then I responded, and I was, me. And I said, I had no plans of offering you any services without knowing you. At all. Ever. Curious, why does asking you what you do mean I'm going to sell you? Did you ever stop to think that I'm legitimately curious about you and your business? That I actually took the time to connect with you and send you a message asking about what you do? When exactly did I make any mention of offering my services?
Is that all you said?
That's all I said.
Okay. Even that, while slightly sassy, is just blunt. Look,
just a lot of questions.
You basically said, you're chastising me for not trying to connect with you, but yet I asked you about your business so that I can connect with you and understand you better. And when exactly did I offer my services for hire? When? Point it out.
I quite literally said, what the fuck are you talking about, in a nice roundabout way.
Yeah. And what did she do?
Good luck, Torya. That was her response. That was it. That was her response. And I was like, now I'm annoyed. Now I'm annoyed. Like with a capital A. It was a small A before.
Mm-hmm.
So then I said, and if you didn't have an interest in connecting with people and learning about other businesses, perhaps LinkedIn isn't a good place for you. Just a friendly suggestion.
Very sassy, but very true as well.
Right. So then, Loonbag, because I don't know her name anymore because all she's called is
you don't know her
LinkedIn
name.
member.
So LinkedIn member says,
I have a good judgment on selecting people who I would want to be in my network. People who knows to communicate based on good judgment. And with the way you act now, do you think you belong to any professional network like LinkedIn? If you are not open for any suggestions and will be agitated on others' opinion, then I don't think any social media or networking site will ever fit your character and personality. I'm not going to stoop down on your level. Have a blessed day.
Now, if any of what she just said was true, that's quite the burn. Okay, it really is. And she probably is walking around telling her friends about how she burned this woman on LinkedIn today. But I'm going to break it down for you, okay? Because I love breaking down stuff like that. I love it. It is like a hobby for me. I love breaking down that stuff. So, say it again. What did she say? Go from the top?
Okay.
And I'll tell you when to stop.
I have a good judgment on selecting people who I would want to be in my network.
Stop. You asked to connect with her. She accepted the connection request.
Correct.
Something that our new friend taught me. Always review the profile of the person you're about to connect with, be it you offering it to them or them offering it to you. Always check that out. Okay, so we already know she did one thing wrong.
Correct. People who knows to communicate based on good judgment. And with the way you act now, do you think you belong to any professional network like LinkedIn?
The way you act now. We've already determined that your last message was pretty sassy, but it was truthful and it was blunt. Okay.
It was me.
Well, but it wasn't wrong. Like, you didn't say anything rude.
No, I did not say what I wanted to say.
Okay, look. Example. I'm going to give people an example because it's so easy. First of all, I was going to use an old-fashioned example, but I'm not going to. I'm going to adapt it to the modern time so that y'all younger folk can understand what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. That was fun to say. That's why I said it.
You're ridiculous.
Anyway, listen. Just shush and listen for a second.
Just fucking talk already.
So, someone's wearing a hat, and it's the ugliest bleeping hat you've ever seen.
Okay.
Okay? You have a choice. You can say, a person can come to you and say, hey, do you like my hat? Isn't my hat cool? You have a choice. You can lie to them and go, it's okay. I mean, that's lying to them. Sorry. You think it's the ugliest freaking hat you've ever seen. Or you can be honest. You don't have to be brutal.
You don't
brutal
say.
Brutal would be, that's the ugliest bleeping hat I've ever seen. You say, no, I don't really like your hat.
Or, it's not really my style.
Yeah, you got ways out of it. That's what you did. You used that approach.
Exactly.
You didn't use the nuclear approach, which you could have used. You used that approach. Prior to that, you literally did nothing except ask her what her business was about and re-explain to her that you were trying to connect by asking what her business was about. Those are the only two things that you did there. And the last thing, so you were a little bit sassy. So, all right, already she's wrong because none of what she said is true. So she can't burn you if what she's saying is based on a lie.
This part was special. If you are not open for any suggestions and will be agitated on others' opinion, then I don't think any social media or networking site will ever fit your character and personality.
Yeah, agitated by another's opinion. What opinion? The opinion that she's stupid and thinks she knows what happened?
I know.
That opinion?
Like, I don't feel like we
Come
were having
on.
the same conversation.
Exactly, and that's how it feels to me. I'm telling you, welcome to my world.
I feel like she was...
I've had these kind of conversations with people before, and I'm just like, how do you not get what I'm saying? And here's the funny part. It goes deeper than that, okay? Because we're always ranting about things that people do, and I'm going to rant about this. It goes deeper than that. You're saying to yourself, why the hell are we not talking the same language here? We're not. What's going on? I thought we're having the same conversation, but yet you're saying something totally different that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. And I know because I'm the one saying it.
Right.
I'm not repeating something that somebody said on the TV. It's my idea. And you can't tell me, oh, no, that's not how it is. Yeah, it is. I lived it. It's like the dude in Huntington Beach that went on and on and on about Michelle Steele. And I was like, no, that's not what happened. And I regurgitated exactly what happened. Why? Because you know damn well I paid attention every single day to everything she did so I could be on top of any weakness. That's the only way you're going to beat somebody like that.
Do you remember that dude who was so rude to me on LinkedIn and he told me that I did him a rough behave?
Yes.
I feel like she was actually having a conversation with
that
Mr.
guy.
Rough Behave.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing. It doesn't make any sense. But here's what I was getting at. It gets worse because then they say, you're just not understanding my point of view. Well, hold on a second. Maybe you're not understanding my point of view. And then you say that, and then they go, oh, yeah, because you're always right. Well, hold on a second. You're the one who said, you're not seeing my point of view, which infers that you think you're right.
If she would have come back and answered my question, at least one of them, not
none of that would have
Torya,
happened.
like, then she's expressing her point of view. But
But
really,
she never gave an opinion.
she was just being a bitch.
Yeah, she never gave an opinion. I mean, I think you caught her on a bad day.
I certainly hope so.
It's
Like
too bad
that-
you don't remember her name. Oh, that would be fun. I'd go connect with her.
I could find it. 100% I could find it.
Anyway, do that later.
I will. I'm checking the score of the hockey game.
I think that people today are so darn sensitive. It's like the other night when I went on that group.
Exactly what he said.
He and I had a great conversation about how it isn't bullying to call someone names. It's name calling.
Right.
And then he tried to take it to a step further where he said that the name calling had the other person scared. Well, that's criminal harassment. It's still
Right.
not bullying.
Well, and it's also not necessarily criminal harassment. Because if I call you an asshole and you decide you're going to get all frightened, that's not on me.
I
Calling
understand,
you an
but
asshole
we're assuming that people are normal and don't just get all butthurt about one small thing. But I guess that's a wrong way to assume in this society. The point here is your perspective is your perspective, my perspective is my perspective, and at
Right.
some point you have to. If you're going, people who say let's agree to disagree don't really mean that most of the time.
Ever.
What they mean is I'm going to continue to think I'm right. I just don't want to argue with you anymore.
100%
That
of
is
the
not
time.
agreeing to disagree. Agreeing to disagree is like Abe. Like Abe. He and I, we agree on a lot of things, but we also disagree on a lot of things. And he knows where I stand and I know where he stands. And we have enough respect for each other to honor those differences rather than browbeat each other over those
Of
differences.
course.
And that's because we're this word called ADULT. We're both adults.
Wow.
Both of us.
That's a thing? I didn't know those existed anymore.
So yeah, that's how people are. And I
The
think that
worst?
lady's a perfect example of that because she's talking about her opinion. So I'm going to assume that at a normal level of what this relates to in human life, I'm going to assume she's sane. I'm going to make that assumption that she
Well-
is sane and a somewhat competent individual. Based off of that, you two were talking about two different topics. Had to be. Because
Well, I don't. Yeah.
she's talking about how she gave you her opinion and such. I heard no opinion. I heard a person chastise you for doing something that you didn't do.
Like, I scrolled back and made sure I didn't miss a message. I was so confused.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. You're in a situation where she's throwing this crap at you, and you're going, but I don't understand. That's not what we're talking about. It'd be like, okay, it's the classic thing in a movie, when they're going to kidnap the person, and they're like, okay, driver, take me to, 732 North Cherry Lane. And then they're driving, and all of a sudden they go, hey, weren't you supposed to turn over there? Hey, weren't you? And then they suddenly realization comes that going the wrong way and that there's reason for it. It's not accidental. Well, same thing. Suddenly realization comes that, well, we have a difference here. I can sit here and be an adult and just be like, all right, well, you think what you think and I think what I think. Or I can be a giant baby and insist that my way is right.
What was interesting about this? I don't generally check my LinkedIn messages in the morning. It's
later in the morning, early afternoon.
It's a laying in bed because I can't fall asleep yet thing for me lately, because I don't really care right now. And so I see it pop up, and it said it was her first message, and I'm like, huh? Did I send you something I don't remember sending you? Like, what's the deal? And I went and looked, and I was like, well, this is dumb shit.
It's just weird.
Maybe I should be like all the other people out there and not even send a message when I try to connect with people. But to be fair, out of the 1,000 connections I've gained lately, this is the only person who's an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, no. And Rough Behave Guy, he sent me a connection request, and I very stupidly accepted it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.